All right. Get to it. What's going on? What's going on? All right, I like this. I like this. Trying something a little different, a little bit outside of the norm. See if I can make this work. All right. Let me see what we got going on up in here, up in here. All right, so let me see. If you hear me out there in cyberspace, please let me hear your amazing voice through text. Go ahead and bring the chat box up. All right, so just want to make sure I'm being heard out there. Just make sure I'm being heard. As soon as I know I'm being heard clearly, we can go ahead and get started. All right. Hopefully I'm looking good, feeling good, smelling good, ready to talk. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, guys. So I just need somebody to verify for me. Am I being heard? Am I being heard out there? If I'm being heard, then I'm ready to start. Yep. All right. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. So, welcome to another exciting episode of the Extraordinary Man Podcast. And today you have me, unfortunately, by myself, but we're going to kick off the new year just like we always do in Extraordinary Man fashion. So, we having us an extraordinary year. Let's just start with that. So, right now, King Midas is on assignment. He'll be with us very, very soon. So as soon as he's able to get with us, we're going to talk about a whole plethora of stuff. But there's a couple of things that I just want to get off my chest. It's just something that's been boiling up. Number one, I think that this new year started off with a bang. Let's just start with that. You know, January has not disappointed, not one bit. And when I sit there and I look at everything and I say to myself, what did I want to do starting off this year? Well, for those who've been following the podcast for a while, you guys know that I am soon to be college graduate. I'll be coming out with my bachelor's in business, and I could not be more excited. One of the most important facets of coming out with this degree is it gives me an opportunity to legitimize everything that I've always felt. But it's like most things, when you feel like you are something, you will only know what you are when you put it to the test. This is one thing that I've gotten myself to, is that as I'm starting to enter into my place of completion, I'm starting to come to a realization that I like the feeling of completing stuff. I like the feeling of getting things done. I like the feeling of being able to go to people and not talk about what it is that I'm doing, but I can talk about what it is I've done. Let me present to you my body of work, my body of completed work, rather than coming to you with what I plan to do, what will happen, what may happen, what hasn't happened, but soon will happen. It just has a different tone to it. And I think that people draw and gravitate more toward people who have a tendency to get things done, primarily because it gives them the motivation to say, you achieved, I can achieve it too. We come from the same background. We come from the same whatever situation, or we have similarities on how we came. You give me the motivation to know that I'm not too old to go back to school. I'm not too out of touch to get my thing in order. I'm not too any excuse that you can make to turn my situation around. So I'm 3 classes shy. By April, I want to say April 28th, I'll officially have crossed that threshold. The beauty of it is that that's only one portion of my 5-year goal that I was able to knock down and chip away. So I can't wait until April come and I can tell y'all that that's behind me. But that ain't what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is the energy of 2024. The energy of 2024. What is this? What is this? What is this energy we talking about? All right, come on, come close. Need y'all to listen up. The energy of 2024 is the fact that it seems to be no holds bars. It's revelation time. It's time to separate the doers from the talkers. It's time to separate those who are about that versus those who talk about that and never produce nothing. In my life and in my immediate circle, if my circle got any smaller, it would be a dot. And I'm so okay with that. Not that I'm oblivious or I'm against networking or putting things together, but I would rather make space in a room for the right people, for the right situations, rather than filling my time up with a bunch of people who are just providing nothing more than mouth service. I'm going to give you guys a little backstory, just in case this is your first time ever catching an Extraordinary Man episode. And where are my manners? First and foremost, I am one half of the whole podcast. I go by the name Phil Jones, Mike Jones, however you know me personally or professionally. The other half of this, his name is Michael Merritt, a.k.a. King Midas. Midas, make sure you throw a king in the front. Let's go. And as I stated earlier on, he's on assignment, and he'll be back with us as soon as humanly possible. This thing started off as an idea of bringing a bunch of like-minded individuals together who all had their own talents, who all had their own gifts, their own dreams. And we wanted to put something together that was going to combine these like-minded talents and be the motivating force to see to it that things got done. That's what we wanted. The reality is, it's very difficult to put men together. It's very difficult because men are hardwired into whatever their own thing is. And to get men to follow along with something else is a very, very hard task to go through. One of the things is, and it's like all over social media, one of the biggest things that is out there is accountability. To hold a person accountable for what they say, for what they do, for who they are not, but they've led people to believe that they are. This is a tremendous feat. And let me tell you something. This has been one of the most rewarding yet most challenging endeavors that I've ever taken on. Primarily because of the fact that you come to the realization that during certain journeys that everybody's not meant for that journey. That's not saying that they're losers. That's not saying that they're ill-equipped. That's not saying that they're not successful in their own right. That's saying that this particular journey is not for everyone. But there's an invitation to all men anywhere to try it out, to see what it is that this thing can be. And I can tell you, giving you guys my graduation story, I have seen firsthand what this thing has done. Why? Because my brother has held me accountable for everything that I said I was going to do. And my successes are due in part to that accountability. A lot of times you don't understand how important it is. Greetings. A lot of times you don't understand how important it is to have that accountability factor underneath you. A lot of times we don't understand how important it is to have people behind you that are going to say, hey, man, you said that this was the deadline. What happened with this deadline? What are we doing with this? Where are we going with this? Somebody that's going to tell you the truth. And let me tell you about the truth. Let's talk about the truth. Shout out to Cat Williams. Let's talk about the truth, right? There's no my truth, your truth. There's just the truth. One of the hardest things about the truth is that it's a bitter pill to swallow. When we find ourselves in situations where we are faced with the truth, the absolute acknowledgement of who we are and what we are in the eyes of others, sometimes we are very, very, very butthurt when the reality of how we project ourselves is placed in front of us. When I get up in the morning, I see this picture. See me, 6'1", whatever, big chain, little chain, no chain, whatever. I see what I see. But a lot of times we are oblivious to what the next man sees. That I may think that I'm kind, I might think that I'm genuine, I might think that I'm great, and somebody might think that he is self-centered, pompous, arrogant, and as fake as they come. I cannot truly be on a goal or a quest to get where I'm trying to go if I'm oblivious to that by which the next man sees in me. Because that's where the accountability is. I can tell myself anything. I can make up every excuse for every shortcoming. Oh, well, I didn't succeed at this because my mom was this, and because my dad was that, and because my upbringing was this, and because I wasn't given this situation. And Dr. Umar said that there was this situation, or whatever have you. It could be anything under the sun. But the truth is, I cannot get anywhere until I take into account I don't live in a world by myself. Whatever I don't do affects somebody else, whether I understand it or not. Whether you understand that your productivity, there's somebody that's waiting on your success story. There's somebody who they're supposed to build from what you've created. That you slowing down your mission is holding up their progress. Life is more like a relay race. You have to get to this position with whatever it is that you're doing so you can pass the baton elsewhere. If you never get there, you're literally stunting somebody else's growth in the race. That's how I feel. That's how I look at things. That's why I titled this The Great Reset. It's the great reset of the mind. It's the great reset of everything. Forget a New Year's resolution. We're not even talking about a new year, nothing. This is just the reset. We're pushing the reset button on everything. We're going to stop talking about what we're going to do, and we're going to start holding ourselves accountable for what have we done? What are we doing? Where are we going? Do we even have a clear direction that we intend to follow? A lot of us, the answer is no. A lot of us, the answer is no. Why is that? Oftentimes it's because you've never been pressed or put in a situation where you actually had to be accountable for what you say. I know so many people who they are so great when it comes to developing a surface level idea, but they fall flat at any level of execution. And for those that's out there, if you want to chat in any way, because I know we're streaming through Facebook, I know we're streaming through YouTube and through Twitch right now. If you're on any one of those platforms, why do you think that some people are so great at developing an idea, but they fail so miserably when it comes down to executing? Do you think that they just never wanted to execute? Do you think that they feel incapable of executing? Do you think they want somebody else to do the execution while they do the thinking? Do you think that maybe they didn't really believe in the idea, just was something great that popped in their head in the moment? What do you think it is? I'm going to read from this. Getting people on board with understanding they have to complete their part in the race is crucial. A lot of people don't even know they're running or holding baton because of selfishness. Is it selfishness though? Is it selfishness? A reason why I'm saying this is because of the fact that there are some people that will argue that some people were just never taught. And because of their lack of education in said situation, they are incapable of understanding anything greater than themselves. Fear of failure is real. Is it a fear of failure or a fear of success? Mm-hmm. You can argue, like, because the thing is that fear of failure is just failure. You fear failure. You fear failing so much that you fail. Seems like you're comfortable failing. If that's the case, I don't know. I don't know. Anybody chime in? Chime in. It's like, here's some things that the cup half full. Oh, okay, I give you that. Say it's the same. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. I'll agree to agree. I'll agree to that. I'll agree to that. So here's where I'm looking at what the Great Reset has done for me. When I look at the raw intensity of getting things done, getting things accomplished, I have gone so many years without actually finishing anything that I started. I forgot how good this feels. It's literally an endorphin release to see something all the way through to the end. So many people that I know are so accustomed to never finishing their food that they don't know how good it feels to just get things done. It's crazy, right? Like you like we're creatures of habit. So if your habit is never finishing anything, how about that? Like you have to train yourself to finish something that you start. You have to train yourself to be in the race. But it's a legitimate thing. It's like, wow, like imagine a world to where people actually got up and did what they said they would do. Like just imagine what that would feel like. Imagine what that would be like to wake up and somebody could tell you, hey, I'm going to deliver on this thing, and then it'd be so. The one thing that I think about it is that we're in a place to where we're competing for a lot of things. We're trying to find ourselves in a winning situation, but we have so many people convincing us that we're in a losing situation. Just think about what I'm saying now. Hold on 1 second. Got a temporary setback. I'm gonna step off and I'm gonna come right back.